Olympics, overrated, underrated?
Overrated.
Way overrated.
Way overrated.
Like literally every city that has the Olympics comes out of it saying, we spent what?
On this?
On what?
On this? Right.
And wait. So we had to put up with like a month of people coming out and like treating our locals like pieces of
Mm-hmm.
We had to put up these cheap little dormitories that we're not even going to give to like low affordable housing anymore. We're going to try and sell them for like high end like condos.
We have athletes sleeping on beds made of cardboard.
Do you ever think of the fact that like all these cities, they put up these Olympic villages, they call them, and they put up these dormitories. And first off, the one thing I will say about the Olympics that's not overrated, how much of a fest it is with the athletes. Like they literally supply the dormitories with unlimited condoms because they know you're just like
everyone's
like
we're all athletes, we're all good looking, right?
I just got ninth place in the 200.
Yeah, I'm getting faced and tonight. Yeah.
YUNKJunk.
What's up, Philadelphia, and welcome to another episode of the Supper Club Sessions. My name is Lou Novak. This is my somewhat esteemed colleague, Sean McGranahan. We're classy because we're drinking wine from red Solo cups. Sean, how you doing today, man?
Hi, Lou. I just wanted to say thank you for that very generous introduction here. This is the clean air version of the Supper Club.
The NPR radio version?
Absolutely. We are being broadcast live over some kind of airwaves that are going to sit there and listen to us while they are reading a newspaper at the same time. So I want to be as informative with a hushed tone as possible, because then people will finally take me serious.
What?
Fuck that shit. So, I don't know. Like, do you think that, and this isn't making fun of NPR because like whatever, there's I guess some newsworthiness to it, but like, do you think that like they train them to talk in such hushed, mellow tones,
Monotone,
or
low volume?
Do you think like if you're on regular radio and you drop an F-bomb, like somebody's there with the drop button, do you think if they start raising their tone a little bit too high, you're like, oh, drop it.
Pull the volume down.
Whoa. Settle down there, Casper. We are friendly ghosts.
Yeah, I think that they're actually maybe the first radio station that can actually be completely like have their jobs replaced by AI. I'd rather hear like the TikTok voice person, like, hi, welcome to NPR radio with like that fake AI voice over.
That's fake. But
No.
they pronounce everything so correct.
True. No, it's not fake. There's actually a lady in your phone who just says all those words.
She's
Like
in
magic.
the phone?
She's in the phone.
I've got a lot of ladies in my phone. maybe a little different than your phone, but
you don't like when the ladies talk, though, usually. You don't. You're like, I don't want you to talk, honey. As he sits there smoking a cigarette, like, nah, babe, don't talk.
It's funny. We were having,
Somehow he's a 1920s gangster in this scenario.
Lou and I, first off, for those of you who don't know, we try to not talk at all whatsoever the entire week in between episodes because we want to keep everything fresh. So what you see is literally our only interaction for 1 week at a time. And that's it.
God willing.
And as a result, like sometimes we don't save things for the show. So like something like we were just like, chatting around here beforehand about like, different stuff. One of the things that popped in my head as I was leaving my apartment today was reminding you about the fact that like I don't have dates. I don't go on dates, and I don't like to consider them dates. I mean, I have
Liaisons,
appointments, and we book them for 2 hours.
Reservations.
Reservations. We have a table for two.
Yeah.
Let's make it one. With 2 hour windows, and then that way you still have your ability to extend the reservation if you want, or you can just cancel
like a park mobile app.
It's I'm thinking about coming up with my own app, and in that way reservations can be made, go directly to my calendar, and in that way I don't even have to like decipher like, okay, what's a Thursday, what's a Wednesday,
To quote Tramp from Lady and the Tramp, that's in my Monday house, that's in my Tuesday house, and that's in my Wednesday house.
So I'm thinking about starting a new app. And we're going to call it Reserve Sean. And
so it's not for anyone to use. It's for you to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
I mean, there might be 2 or 3 users out there that might actually use it, but it's okay. But I think that's that's just a glimpse into like some of the conversations that happen off camera. Okay. So but Lou, how are you feeling today?
I'm having a productive day. I'm feeling. I'm not feeling great physically.
Let's be honest. How are you feeling?
Lesbionics.
Let's be honest. How are you feeling?
I'm having some issues today. I'm having some stomach issues. So I'm a little.
Your tummy hurt?
I'm bloated. It's my time. It's my cycle.
Well, our cycles are matched.
Yeah. So,
I guess the medication I'm on just makes me not.
I feel like I'm like definitely not pregnant right now. Put it this way.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well,
yeah.
That's a good thing.
I'm a little irritable, a little cranky.
So we were talking. Last week we had a great conversation last week with some special guests, and we've had a nice little run here of a couple episodes with special guests. But I really wanted this week just for me and you to talk.
Alone time?
I wanted to really get to the heart of like
our problem.
How are you feeling right now? Like in general. Oh, I don't care about how you feel. I
was like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, I actually had I give zero shits.
It doesn't matter how you're feeling right now.
How you're feeling right now. You know what? I want to talk about. I did some show prep today, and I thought of some topics to talk about. It's summertime. Did you know that?
Summertime.
When that song comes on the radio, you have to roll the windows down. You have to turn the volume up.
8 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
And just
actually, I just recently introduced you to the Plateau.
The Plateau.
It's where everybody goes.
Shout out to the Plateau. Absolutely. Lots of good times at the Plateau.
Absolutely. But it's summertime, so there's a lot of shit going on in the world.
You have notes, by the way. I don't know if the camera is like. I know it probably gets our like money makers up here, but like you got notes going.
I do. Well, you usually use your phone for notes, and I didn't. I wrote them down.
I just have nothing written down. I have one thing written down.
It's summertime. There's a lot of shit going on. Okay. Now, one thing we don't do is we don't get into politics. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff going on in politics.
However, my fellow Americans.
However, how funny is the shit that's going on in politics right now? Like fucking hilarious. We got one dude who can't fucking finish a sentence, another dude who gets shot, and everybody's like, and his first inclination after he gets shot is a fight the power side.
I mean, listen.
You can't make if this was the Matrix, you couldn't make up this chapter. Like AI could not have generated this chapter of the story. Like this is how July's gonna go.
Because at some point, if this was really happening, they'd be like, "Well, this isn't fucking real. Hey, this is we're in a Matrix. This is restart."
It's so like, and again, I'm not making light of assassination attempts. It was funny. I'm not making light of like, gentrification and an older gentleman, who really is not capable of doing the job that he's really supposed to be doing. Great man, but it's just past his time. Okay.
Motherfucker, it's past his bedtime.
But
it's 6:29 p.m. as we're filming this.
When you're the president and they say 8 o'clock, it's quiet time on the floor.
Yeah,
like it's like when you're in college and the RA comes and knocks your door. Hey guys,
lights out.
It's lights out time. Yeah. Like I hear some rustling going from under your bed. Yeah, it's because I'm abusing myself. But it's like one of these things where it's like you could not make up some of the stories that are going on right now. And I honestly don't have like any like legitimate like strong feelings either side of the barrel. All I know is we are fucked. Like no matter what happens right now, we're fucked. So a candidate who 4 years ago said the guy whose job she just replaced, she called him a major racist and all the stuff he did in his past was racist.
Right.
And now he's the greatest guy ever. For stepping aside against the guy who, if you give him a compliment, he'll say that compliment was not good enough. It was a good compliment, but it wasn't a great compliment. And frankly, you suck at life. Like either way, like what? Like we couldn't pick better candidates right now.
I put a post out to my 22 Facebook friends, which I probably need to whittle down and get that lower.
I think me and my ghost counter both.
So. Yeah, and all I said was like, and remember, kids, no matter who wins, we lose. And that's
it's literally true. Like
America.
I can't make this shit up. Like
Sean, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. I'm gonna go with behind this off camera. This will now be my third Roosters Millions callback this week, and it's. Can we just vote none of the above?
Like
none of the above. None of the above.
I think. Weren't people actually doing that? like Dylan, you could fact check us on this, but I'm pretty sure that like there was people that were like in the Democratic primaries were writing like no vote, like or something like that. Like it was something weird. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that happened. But like it's like, listen, if first off, let's talk about Brewster's Millions. Great,
phenomenal movie.
Phenomenal. I mean, you're talking Richard Pryor at his. I'm not gonna say his hype because his 70s comedy stuff, stand-up comedy stuff was fucking phenomenal. Okay. When he got into the movies in the late 70s, early 80s, he had a lot of good ones. Okay. Like I go back to like The Toy was one of my favorite movies when I was a little kid.
You know, evil, hear no evil.
Yeah. But Brewster's Millions was like just one of my favorites because it brought in John Candy, who was a childhood hero of mine. Every fat kid in America looked up to him, and eventually Chris Farley, and then I think it fell off with Horatio Sands when he was like the funniest fat guy. It was kind of like, all right, we could
this
stop.
Is too self-demeaning, panderish.
Enough about it. Horatio Sands was hilarious, but he was always just, you could tell he was blazed out of his head. Okay. Like he was always, him and Jimmy Fallon in every single skit they were ever on Saturday Night Live, just started giggling and laughing. You know they were just blazed out of their heads. But Brewster's Millions, great movie. Guy inherits $30 million. He has to spend it all in a month and have nothing to show for it. And then he wins $300 million. Yeah. And I mean, literally just the thought of that, like being like, dude, I'll take the $30 million. Well, the
filmmaking was like, I'm going to make you, it's like smoking the whole pack of cigarettes, right?
Make you sick of spending money.
I'm going to make you sick of spending money, right? Yeah.
But great movie. That's your third reference, Bruce.
That was one of the first movies, like, I guess maybe because I've always said this about like, children in general is like you're not really a person until you can start sort of like identifying yourself, like until you could actually like stand up and say, hey, I'm hungry, feed me, instead of just crying. Like you don't really count. So I think when I first started like actually becoming sentient and self-aware, my dad actually sat me down, he showed me 2 movies that to this day are just phenomenal. Brewster's Million and It's a Mad World.
Fucking great movies.
2 phenomenal movies that I just cracked the fuck up at.
And it's like, you know what? And shout out to Big Lou, because I mean, that's
your new best friend.
He's my new best friend. I mean, we exchange numbers now. And now, so Lou's dad and I are now, we've been texting back and forth about something. And I saved his contact and it actually replaced you as the contact. So now, so now on my emergency contact list, if something happened to me, Dylan, just so you know, it's number 3 on my emergency contact list. If something happens to me, they're calling your dad.
Well, my dad's actually a good connect for that because he delivers like hospital equipment. So I mean, knowing you, like you'll be in a hospital somewhere, and
he's got something
falling off the truck, or exactly. Fucking literally, fill up the truck.
Exactly, literally.
Where does fentanyl come from?
So it's funny though that like we go back to like our dads and like raising us and like set us down and being like this is what it is. I can remember with great clarity. It was about 1982. I was a few years old. I'm not sure. We're not going to say how old I was, but I was alive.
I was 1.
And I remember it was me, my brother, my dad, and then my next door neighbor, Big Rich, and his 3 kids, Little Rich, Patrick, and Michael. Okay, Michael was like my age. Patrick's like my brother's age. Shout out to the DeLises, great family, love them. We went over to a drive-in theater over in Jersey. This was back when they still had drive-in theaters, like it's not the 50s, but yeah. And we went to see a movie called Firefox. All right, and it was starred with Clint Eastwood, and it was Clint Eastwood played this spy who snuck into the USSR to steal their secret, spy
I love the 80s
plane.
where the Russians are the bad guys, and now it's 2024, and the Russians are the bad guys.
Yeah, exactly. Hilarious. But the moral to the story is our dads both fell asleep. They might have had a beer or 2. I don't know. They fell asleep while we were watching the movie. And
obviously a great piece of cinema.
The second movie, so that was like the first movie. And then the second movie that like came on that like
2 movies,
you'd have to like physically drive out of there in order to like not catch a second movie. So our dads were sleeping and we were like, playing games, eating popcorn, whatever the fuck we were doing. And the second movie was groundbreaking for me and probably kind of establishes my pattern in life.
Was it porn?
It was Porky's.
Close enough.
So, and I distinctively remember looking up at that screen and being like, wow, why are they all in the shower like that? And I think it set a tone for me for the rest of my life. And
you're still in your sorority phase. Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah. Growing up's for old people, Sean.
So let's get back to it. We're talking about the summer. It's summertime. We got a lot of politics going on. It's a distraction for everybody. I try to stay off of it. I try to stay off the social medias because, people want to pick sides and I'm this and I'm that. You know me, I hate labels, except for appointment labels, and that's it. There's another thing that's going on in the world right now that's drawing some attention outside of the two wars that are happening and, all that kind of fun stuff. There's a thing that happens every few years called the Olympics.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it started yesterday, actually, and the U.S. already lost in soccer to France. I mean, it's the French.
Soccer.
We lost to French.
Yeah, but it's soccer.
Frenchies.
It's soccer.
Fries.
Doesn't count.
Baguettes.
Soccer.
Donuts.
Can they beat us in football?
Ooh. I like that.
Like, I mean,
like it's almost like, yeah, you beat us on one, but like come beat us on the other.
We're 2-0 in World Wars, and I think we're like 44 or 45-0 in Super Bowls. Yeah. So I mean, like, come at me, bro.
Yeah. Well, you know what? What's funny thing is like now there's always talk about going international with the NFL, and they've talked about a London team, obviously, and they've been talking about that for years. It'd be funny to see a French football team. I think it'd be hilarious. Like the
Paris baguettes.
Yeah. I would definitely eat them up. But the idea that all of a sudden there's like this team in France and they're like smoking on the side,
wearing black and white striped shirts and a red ascot.
They win. They're not dumping Gatorade. They're dumping wine.
Champagne and wine.
It's a Bordeaux. Hey, it's like it's just one of those things. But so the Olympics are in Paris, France right now, which I think is it's cool. And I was watching something the other day and they were talking about like how like they used all these like historical landmarks. Like tomorrow night, the opening ceremonies, they're usually in like a big stadium, like the opening stadium, everybody kind of like marches in and stuff like that. They're not doing it at a stadium. They're doing
the Olympics in a
the opening ceremony is at the Eiffel Tower. And as the countries march in, instead of marching in, they're going to be floating down the river in boats. And it's going to be like, here's the American boat, and here's the Russian boat, and here, only in a French Olympics would they do something so dumb.
That's fucking dumb. It's just fucking dumb, right? It's like it's artsy for the sake of being
I know they have big stadiums, like they have their French football teams that like draw like 100,000 people. I know for a fact, but like literally guys, we're gonna do the dumbest thing
ever.
What
if we do a lazy river instead?
Right.
Like I know we're doing Olympics, right? But have you ever been to Dorney Park? Hear me out.
like the French announcers like, it looks like a Dorney Park. It's like dumb shit. Of course it is. It's Dorney Park. It's a lazy river. Lazy river's overrated.
Lazy river is overrated for parents who are like listen, I wanted to do a nice thing and take my kids to the water park, but guess what? I'm fucking over this day. I'm gonna sit back and just fucking chill for the next fucking 20 minutes while this fucking raft takes me.
Let me give you.
I don't have to walk anymore.
Lou, close your eyes. Close your eyes. All right, think of a thought. Okay, I'm gonna put a thought in your head. Okay. There's a family. It's a wonderful family. It's a mother and a father, and they got their 3 kids, boy, girl, boy, and they're all American, and they play sports, and they eat cheeseburger and French fries, and they sit there and say, hey, look, we're gonna go to Dorney Park, okay? We're gonna have a great family day there. We're gonna go to Wow Water Kingdom, kids, and the kids are saying, yay!
Yeah.
Oh, this is great! And then everybody goes and does their own thing. Everybody sits there. I'm going to go on the big wedgie ride. I'm going to go on the tube ride. And then the mom says, oh my God, I just got Rosé. I'm going on a lazy river.
Yeah.
Guys, oh my God. It's lazy river time with Rosé. It's Rosé. It's okay.
Which is what we're drinking out of red solo cups right now.
And our podcast today is brought to you by Josh Rosé, specializing in lazy rivers. Lou, you don't want any more, right?
No, I don't want any more.
Just making sure.
No, I'm dying already inside as it is.
So summer rosés. Okay, we're gonna skip from the Olympics. We're gonna talk about rosés real quick. How annoying
summer
is
rosé?
Rosé?
Is the lazy river of wine.
Oh my God, it's literally like, oh my God, look at me, I'm chilling.
We're trash. We know we're trash.
Yeah, it's brunch, girls. Rosé. It's okay. Who's gonna put this in their story? Oh my God, what's the new TikTok trend? Let's do that. Do a little dance. Something like that. I don't know.
I feel like we could probably exploit that somehow. Can we make money off that somehow? Can we maybe at our spot, just do like a Rosé special
at Sparrowway Productions.
Sparrowway Productions.
Yeah, absolutely. I will sponsor a Rosé.
How do we monetize this?
Rosé Lazy River costume contest.
Okay. So definitely water park, water sports at your spot.
It's water sports with a tube around. But the thing is, it's just from the waist up.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So from the waist down,
optional.
Okay. Absolutely. Gotcha. And we'll see who wins. The Lazy River Rosé is okay. Sponsored by Sparrowway Productions.
I can't wait to see
your phones.
I can't wait to see your bracket on who's inviting, who's participating.
That's in the notes right here, actually.
Can't wait to see who your bracket buster is.
Bracket buster.
No names right now, but
who's the black horse that's coming out and
Why they gotta be
taking
black?
everything over? Anyway, so about the Olympics, okay? Olympics, overrated, underrated?
Overrated.
Way overrated.
Way overrated.
Like literally every city that has the Olympics comes out of it saying, we spent what?
On this?
On what?
On this? Right.
And wait. So we had to put up with like a month of people coming out and like treating our locals like pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We had to put up these cheap little dormitories that we're not even going to give to like low affordable housing anymore. We're going to try and sell them for like high end like condos.
We have athletes sleeping on beds made of cardboard.
Do you ever think of the fact that like all these cities, they put up these Olympic villages, they call them, and they put up these dormitories. And first off, the one thing I will say about the Olympics that's not overrated, how much of a fuck fest it is with the athletes. Like they literally supply the dormitories with unlimited condoms because they know you're just like
everyone's fucking.
Like,
we're all athletes. We're all good looking, right?
I just got ninth place in the 200.
Yeah, I'm getting shit faced and fucking tonight.
Me.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody's doing it. I mean, it's like I almost think that like Olympic athletes, like as much as they want to go for the gold, I think they want to go for the pussy. Like I really think that's what it is,
including the girls. Like especially
that happens,
especially on the girls like shot put team. They're all going for the pussy.
I love.
No one on the female shot put team is like, I need some dick later. Unless you're talking about the ones they probably have.
Listen, I don't discriminate between thick, thin, all that type of stuff. Look, a shot put girl that really knows how to throw some balls around.
Oh, there you go.
I'm all down for it. You know.
Hot take on the Olympics too, as well. I also think that one of the reasons it's overrated is because it's populated by non-sports. I think there's lots of
like not realistic sports.
Like not realistic sports. I identify a sport as like, you know, when two teams take each, there's like a winner and a loser. Like boxing's a sport. You know, someone gets knocked the fuck out. Okay. Right. Baseball's a sport. Someone scores more points than the other person. All right. Cheerleading, not a sport. Ladies, cheerleading's not a sport. It's not. Synchronized.
I'm going to take the counterpart on that. Okay.
You're wrong.
So the athleticism and the gymnastics
it's
are
athletic. It's an athletic competition.
Competitive
sure.
cheerleading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheerleading's not a sport.
And the fact that
the dance thing you do with the ribbons, not a sport.
The fact that you need to have strong-minded cheerleader moms that love to fuck. I know this from experience. Okay. I support all my women cheerleaders out there. And especially the moms that take them to all the events.
They're athletes. They're in better shape than I am. It's not a sport. And
Bring
we're
It On?
pretending.
You never saw Bring It On?
Yeah, it's not a sport.
If you saw Bring It On, it's a sport.
Listen, cheerleading's not a sport for the same reason, in all fairness, that like skateboarding's not a sport. It's an athletic competition that is judged on style points by a panel of judges.
Yeah,
now, some judge could see you do a triple fucking indie backflip and be like, that's a fucking 9.2. And another judge right next to him would be like, that's a 9.3. That's why it's not a sport, because it's opinion based. A home run is a fucking home run.
Look, don't get used to this, but
a basketball, it's a 2-pointer, it's a 2-pointer. 3 points, a 3-pointer. A touchdown, 6 points. The next point is 1.
Do you know what basketball is? I don't think so.
Right.
But the
opinion-based events are not sports.
I'm going to agree with you.
As you fucking should.
As I'm embarrassed to.
Yeah, as you should.
In that, you know, I do believe, that there are sports that are contrived, okay?
Yeah.
That probably shouldn't be.
It's not a male-female thing.
I'll give you an example. X Games, okay? Or anything
lots
like,
of non-sports on the X Games.
And skateboarding, all that type of stuff. Love them things. And
they're cool as shit. They're not sports.
Phenomenal.
Listen, I love pro wrestling. Not a sport. It's an athletic.
Not real?
Soap opera.
Okay. But I agree. it's the same thing with me. Like when I think about like the Oscars, okay, you can't judge art. Okay,
I agree.
I look at skateboarding as an art form. I look at like BMX as an art form. Unless, of course, you're talking about Crew Jones and the 1985 movie Rad, which is top 5 in my life, which, of course, brought us the unbelievable single, Send Me an Angel.
Wow, that is a throwback.
With Lori Loughlin on a Diamondback.
She was an angel.
Oh, my Lord.
We're old.
Listen. I fucking... Yeah. Jesse Kasopoulos' wife.
Jesse did well.
I'd be like, Jesse, give me 5.
Jesse and the Rippers did. You know, he did very well for himself. Now, listen, if you were racing skateboards, then clearly there'd be a winner. Someone crosses the finish line first.
Yeah, like
if you were.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I think it's
I like, flipped my board.
His elbow wasn't exactly straight.
No, that doesn't count.
Same thing happens, and I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but like, there's a lot of track and field events that I'm not. And shout out to Beth Rocks if you're watching this, because I know you're a track and field legend at Pitt. But I track and field events like the long jump.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's a sport because it's a measure. There's a measurement.
But is it like phenomenal? Like all of a sudden they jumped an inch further than somebody else.
But more is more. And
you're also jumping into sand, which is not truly measurable.
It is measurable. There's literally like a marker, like, hey, like the last mark you made in the sand was...
How's it practical?
Most sports aren't practical. How's fucking hitting a baseball practical?
What about the pole vault?
Pole vault does that go by height?
Yeah,
I don't know the rules of pole vault.
But here's the thing: is that at some point,
when it's a measurable metric, and you could out measurable metric someone else.
Let me do something.
And there's a clear cut winner.
I do with you on a daily basis. Let me
sound dumb.
Educate you.
Oh, God.
Okay. The Olympics were originally formed as a show of what the best people who could do things that were applicable at that time could do. Okay, and I don't know where the idea of Winter Olympics, the biathlon, which is literally like you're gonna ski and shoot guns,
and shoot shit
at the same time.
I think Sarah Palin started that in Alaska. She was just like,
Palin, he'd be on my B list. Like absolutely, like
yeah,
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you governor, and I'm gonna swim through those.
We're gonna ski our way through all this snow and fucking shoot shit.
Absolutely. But like anyway, like biathlon, I don't get that. Like and there's sports that like I get that like okay, like it's something that like is practical to somebody. You're doing something better than a human could ever do in what they do in like the real world. But if you're doing something that nobody would ever think to do, and
it's like having the Guinness
Book
of World Records for like, hey, I moved my thumb this way more than anyone else ever. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Like,
right, exactly. That's why a sport needs to be competing with another person or team.
Right.
It's not individual. Oh, I did this better than someone else, but no one else was trying. So who doesn't fucking matter?
It's like sex, okay? Like one person doing sex compared to another person doing sex, it might be better, it might be different, okay? But you can't sit there and say like this person gets the gold medal.
Right. No, it's objective.
I mean,
especially in your case, if you're doing it by yourself and you're not competing with anyone. You do it.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, it all depends on like position, hands, all that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm a lefty.
Performance enhancing drugs.
It's weird. I'm a righty for everything. Performance enhancing drugs. I'm not clean. Okay. I'm not passing the test. Okay, sorry, boss. It's
not passing the P test.
Sorry, Vince. I'm not gonna be able to go to the ring tonight.
Damn it.
But you know, about going back to the Olympics, I just like I think the Olympics time has come and gone. I think the Olympics. What I think they should do with the Olympics to make them better is, first off, I think they should pick a city, pick Athens, okay, pick Greece, okay, where they originally started,
OG,
you know, and just be like your goal. It's almost like your goal is to get like in Philadelphia for Catholic League basketball, okay. They talk about it all the time. We're gonna get to the Palestra. We're gonna get to Palestra. That's where the Final Four for high school basketball is for the Catholic League every year. We're gonna get to Palestra. I think Public League is the Lear Core Center, but Catholic League is Palestra. Palestra, the cathedral of college basketball. It's one of the most amazing arenas you'll ever be in. It's fucking phenomenal. Shout out to Joe Zaglinski. Archbishop Brian went to the finals again this year against Roman Catholic, and Chris McNesby, the coach of Roman Catholic. The guy was a legend, then he retired and he went and did something in private life, and then he came back and he won again. Like, and he's a good guy. I've known him for years, his family for years. I'd sit there and think like damn, like if I'm going to lose to somebody, I'm going to lose to fucking, Chris McNabb being Roman Catholic. But Archbishop Bryan, they had one of the best teams they ever had. Thomas Sorber, I mean, 6'10" kid going to Georgetown. They had such a great team. I was at the game. It was on ESPN. It made ESPN for the finals.
There's an Archbishop Bryan game on ESPN.
It made the top 10 list because it went into the final seconds of went in overtime. I'm sorry. Went in overtime. Ryan tied to go in overtime. And then in overtime, at the end of overtime, Ryan scored. I can't remember the kid's name, but he was from Our Lady of Calvary. He hit a 3-pointer with 7 seconds to go. Okay. And Ryan went up by 1. And it was like
a long fucking time, bro.
Shit.
Right,
we started going nuts. There's no timeouts. Okay. Chris McNabb gets him to inbound the ball. And I can't remember the name of the kid. I think he went to some D2 or D3 school, but the kid was,
Roman hit a heartbreaker.
He came down. They didn't stop him. He got all the way down to the foul line. He puts up the shot. He hits it at the buzzer. Roman wins it. But I don't even know where I was going with the whole
We're talking about the Olympics. You were talking about how you should have to like earn your way to Athens. So if I read what you're saying, Craig, like you should almost have like mini Olympics in each country. Where like, hey, I'm going to finish the best in New York.
Well, they do. They have like what's called like the
qualifiers
Olympic qualifiers.
Like
But like I almost feel like it should be centralized. It shouldn't be a competition at like Salt Lake City, Utah just won the bid for the 2034 Olympics.
There might not be a world in 2034.
Do they know like what's going on in the
state
world
of
right
affairs?
now?
Yeah.
But they were all celebrating at the fact that now they get to spend $6 billion preparing for a month-long event
in Salt Lake City, which is like a dry city.
When you get
all Mormons out there.
Yeah, I think like there's something, the weird law out there is like you have to be with somebody from the state of Utah to vouch for you. And I think the bars close at like 10:30 p.m.
She's at least 14 and I swear she could drink.
And that's my other sister's
and it's my
daughter.
Other sister, yeah.
But like,
or as I call her, my fiance.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like one of these things where it's like they're celebrating that, and it's kind of like, what are you really celebrating? You're celebrating the fact that 3,000 athletes are going to come to your city and get free condoms for a month and fuck each other, and that's it. Like that's you get to market yourself as a new location for the Olympics. You already had it once.
There was just a big soccer event,
World Cup they call it
in the States, some sort of like the CONCACAF or fucking
it's the Confederation of American countries.
And it was like Colombia versus fucking someone, and they held the game here, and like they broke into the fucking stadium where they were playing. They pushed their way past security. They were climbing through fucking air ducts to fucking like monkey crawl their way into the next fucking like place where they could fucking view the game, and they fucking destroyed the stadium for fucking soccer. Right, and it's like, you want to invite this to your fucking city?
I think I'm gonna take a position here, okay? And hey, listen, this might get me in trouble, and this might be the reason why I might not be elected president someday. But
this would be the one.
I'm going on the record right now. Dylan, write this down, okay? I want this posted. I'm going on a record that Olympics should never give free condoms.
Oh,
simple
that's
as
where
that.
You're going with.
Not on my watch.
Oh.
Because again, if they stop giving the free condoms, people will stop looking at it as a fuck fest. They stop looking at it as a fuck fest, they won't compete as hard. They don't compete as hard, the Olympics aren't as important.
It sounds to me
all the problems in the world right now.
It sounds to me like someone that didn't want to take political stance. You just said you're against birth control.
I mean, I don't have any kids, so I've been doing pretty well for 48 years.
You're just against owning up to your responsibilities. That's all that means you are.
Somebody told me the other day that they caught me before I even said it when they said something about kids, and I was about to use the old line of like, none that I know of. And they were like, dude, none that I know. That's like the weakest line ever. Like that's so it's so Rosé.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to start saying, I'm going to make that a thing.
You're going to make it a thing? Stop making fetch. Stop trying to make fetch a thing. Fetch is never going to be a thing.
What's the temperature outside? It's raining. It's 30% chance it's raining. So are we on the same page, though, that the Olympics are just way overrated?
They're overrated. They don't bring... I've never once gone like this. Listen, how many times, and we've known each other for over 10 years, probably way too long, and I've never
More than I care to admit.
Yeah, I've never once called you and I'm like, dude, like, you want to fucking get some beers and go watch the Olympics? It's never fucking happened.
I can remember in 1992, okay? That was the year of the Dream Team.
Okay.
1992, the Olympic, like these days, like if someone were to tell you like, hey, you need to pay to watch the Olympics, you'd be like, yeah, right, bro.
The fuck I do. Right. Yeah.
In 1992, they had gold, bronze, and silver and bronze packages for watching
Really
the
clever.
Olympics. It was pay-per-view, okay?
Pay-per-view for the Olympics.
Buy a package, and based on whatever package you bought, you're allowed to watch certain things.
Those sports.
In 1992,
Dream Team was on the gold package, obviously.
Absolutely. And it was like, hey, mom, I know we have no money. I know I literally just rolled quarters last week to be able to pay my tuition for Archer's Brian. I know that like we don't have a nickel to our name, and you're just doing everything you can to keep us together. And I love you and I thank you for that.
Charles Barkley's playing France.
But just so you know, I called Comcast and pretended I was dad, and we got the gold package.
The bill's going up $69.99 next month.
And it's like one of those things. Like really, like
I would think I would think now athletes, especially like American athletes who fucking like get fucking like dumb fucking paid, like probably look at Olympic teams the same way that like Brady would look at like, hey man, you made the Pro Bowl. And he'd be like, I'm not fucking that. Like, yeah, like it's an obligation more than a fucking honor. I would think like, I gotta fucking do this now.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so and it's funny bringing this up because it is a little bit of a topic of conversations going around these days. So the Olympic men's basketball team legitimately has the best players in the world.
Okay.
Playing for them. I mean, LeBron is on the team. Steph Curry is on the team.
LeBron,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, but there's something ominously missing from the women's team.
Caitlin Clark,
and who's the other one?
Caitlin Clark too.
No, the girl who plays for. She went to LSU.
Oh, not Caitlin Clark.
Someone. But it's funny. So the woman who's the head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, which is the WNBA team. And she's also the head coach for women's basketball. And she gets fucking peppered every press conference about Caitlin Clark and Olympic team.
Right.
And she's so bitter about it. Like, she's so, like, annoyed. How could you dare ask me about this girl who just had the most assists ever in a WNBA All-Star game? Or
how dare you ask me about why the greatest WNBA player isn't playing on her team? Yeah. As if like you're the fucking.
And I'm not even saying she's the greatest. Okay, I'm not even saying she's a phenom.
Symmetrically, yeah.
I'll say she's a phenom.
Transcends the sport.
Exactly. Absolutely. Listen. I haven't watched a single WNBA game in probably 20 years. Okay. In fact, I've actually looked at some of the videos out there on YouTube.
I watched her opening game.
Well, I've watched some of the videos out there on YouTube that are like making jokes about like, oh yeah, this is why they get paid so much. And it's them all missing layups and missing passes and air balls and all that type of shit. Like, I actually I like watching highlights in WNBA games, and not just Caitlin Clark's. I've been turned on to other ones too. There's another girl.
So you're saying she's literally doing everything that like they're saying she's actually getting the audience to tune into the fucking product.
She's doing, and this isn't a lot of pressure on her, but Caitlin, it's a lot of pressure. And if you ever need a pressure release, call me. She's getting all the pressure right now that someone like Michael Jordan got back in 1986, or Magic Johnson and Larry Bird got back in '79. When the NBA was
you better fucking save my life, you son of a bitch. It was literally this better be the greatest fucking thing of all time.
Listen, if you go back and read about the NBA back in like 78, 79, 80, okay, it was not drawing people. It was not making money. It wasn't doing anything. I could tell you this. The 10th guy on the bench wasn't making $10 million a year. Right. He might have been making $32,000. Okay. And guys, and no matter how great the players were that came before them, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the 79-80 season made the NBA what it is today.
Because they had the rivalry. Everyone wants to pay to see.
They brought
mainstream media
a different level of talent to the game. Guys like Dr. J, okay, who all of a sudden was like, he's dunking? We don't dunk in this league. We don't throw. And guys like Michael Jordan in 1984-85, and he came through, and all of a sudden Michael Jordan's sitting there jumping from the foul line, and you get Charles Barkley coming in, Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson,
bodying motherfuckers up.
Karl Malone put up 30,000 points. You had all these people. All of a sudden, like, they transcended the game. They made the game better than what it was. That's literally what's happening right now in the WNBA. They have a level of players right now that are new, not just Caitlin Clark, just Caitlin Clark. And I really wish that I knew some of the names, but I don't. Dylan, it would help if you put someone on the screen for me to look at. But
Don't do it.
But there's a level of rookies and young players out there that are transcending the game right now, that are making the game more watchable, that are making the game fun to watch. The difference
is when this was going on in the 80s and 90s with like Bird and Magic and Barkley and Jordan, all them, the NBA embraced that.
Absolutely.
The WNBA, they want to put their fucking head in the sand. Like, no. Shoot. Oh, we got names on the screen.
So Asia Wilson, she's the best player in the league. And
she's
listen,
an ace.
People want to talk about like people want to talk about Caitlin Clark, but Asia Taylor's like a 2-time MVP. She's 2-time like champion.
Does she make more than Caitlin Clark?
Probably not in.
When you take the endorsements,
because I think the WNBA.
But Caitlin Clark's still on a rookie contract,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. Caitlin Clark's
like 70 or something.
Yeah, but she's making $20 million a year from Nike or something like that. But like there's literally players on the list that like they're like, but all these players like Diana Taurasi.
Okay? WNBA doesn't know how to get out their own way though. They don't know how to get out their own way of trying to like act like what's happening isn't fucking happening. They don't know how to embrace a positive.
It's exactly it. Diana Taurasi is a great example. Okay, Diana Taurasi, I think she plays for like the Phoenix team or something like that, and she's out there like knocking around and hitting people and throwing hip checks, stuff like that. It's almost like they're saying that like Caitlin doesn't deserve the accolades she's getting. And I know that there's also been a little bit of a race question with that too, and it has nothing to do with race, okay? Because there's been plenty of great. I remember Rebecca Lobo.
What makes Caitlin Clark different? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, Rebecca Lobo, okay, when I was growing up. Rebecca Lobo, I think she went to UConn. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but she was a phenomenal player for the New York Liberty, okay? Yeah. And she was good. She was really, and guess what? She was white. And there was nobody saying it was because she was white, okay? Caitlin Clark is just good, okay? And she's cocky because she's good. And she's probably going to go down if she can stay healthy, if she doesn't get beat around, as one of the greats. She's already putting herself up there as probably the rookie of the year, okay? But
I heard she was the first WNBA star to hit like a triple-double.
She was. Yeah, she was the youngest ever hit a triple-double. But like it's one of these things where it's like, embrace the fact that you have a sport that has been, we've talked about this before, we had a debate before, is subsidized by the NBA.
Yeah.
They want to talk about the pay differential. The reason for the pay differential is because the
welfare
NBA
sport of
brings
professional
in
sports.
$6 billion a year, okay? And the WNBA loses $70 million a year, something like that. And it has to be literally subsidized by the NBA, by the NBA teams, okay? So I'm right now, be perfectly blunt and honest with you, I'm a fan of the WNBA, what I'm seeing. I'm a fan of watching people that like love the sport and play the sport hard. And I think all these young players that are coming in are upping the game of all the players who maybe didn't give as much of a fuck. You know, a person like Brittany Griner, okay, who phenomenal player. When she was at Baylor, phenomenal player.
Yeah. She didn't put up a lot of stats when she was on Russia though.
Well, I mean, she was in a different area in Russia.
Gotcha,
okay.
Gotcha.
Listen, I think we talked about this before. We learned this lesson from Michael Vick when he played for the Eagles and he got caught with weed at Philadelphia International Airport. Always get somebody to carry your weed.
When you're an athlete,
don't carry your own weed.
The lowest paid athlete could still afford to pay someone else to carry your drugs.
Everybody's got a turtle. Everybody's got a turtle.
Have someone else carry weed. Have someone else carry your gun at all fucking times.
You don't need to ever carry a gun.
Right.
If you're a professional athlete, you never did carry a gun. You never did carry drugs. You got the guys like, guess what? You're going down. I got you, but you're going down.
Your family, like Jay-Z beat a fucking rap one time because he fucking just literally like it's known. Paid some dude like you were holding that gun, right? Right?
Jay-Z never did that.
Right.
Jay-Z never did that.
Correct.
Yeah. I when it comes to sports, I love sports, and I get back to the Olympics and talk about the Olympics. I'm disappointed that we're gonna watch the Olympic women's basketball team for USA, who, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, they just got the WNBA All-Star game just happened. Okay. The WNBA All-Star game, they went creative with it, which I love. I love when they go creative out of the box, think with stuff. Just like baseball, when they decided to do like, okay, if you win, you get to host the World Series.
That was a great fucking call.
Absolutely. So
it actually made the All-Star game like actually have some semblance of fucking importance.
I think hockey did it too, like where they started doing like U.S. versus the rest of the world. So WNBA All-Star game that just happened, they did WNBA All-Stars versus the U.S. team. So if you were on the U.S. team already, you were on the
U.S. team, right?
And everybody else. So Caitlin Clark got to be on the WNBA team.
Because she didn't make the USA team.
Exactly. And Dylan, you have to find out for me who's the rookie that came from LSU, who plays for the Chicago women's basketball team. I can't remember her name, but she's literally like an Instagram star.
Joanna, man?
No, she's freaking phenomenal. But they were on the WNBA team, and the WNBA team beat the women's basketball team.
Really?
Like beat them like handily.
Huh. So all the people,
Angel Reese,
the people you didn't want on the team for
Angel
America beat the people that you actually wanted for Team America.
Angel Reese, smoke bomb. Okay, Angel Reese, fashion phenomenal. Okay, she's got a fashion story that's fucking phenomenal. Like when she played for LSU and she was playing with her nails and her eyes were done and all that type of shit. Fucking phenomenal. Okay,
I think its eyes were did.
And she was all did. Okay, and I might have did. So Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they're both on the WNBA squad for the All-Star game. Okay, they play against Team USA, which had people like Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi.
They're playing with a fuck you chip on their shoulder too.
And the WNBA team won.
Right.
Okay, and not just one, but won handily. And the woman who
there's never been more anti-American in their fucking life.
The woman who was the coach for the US Team USA, who was the one who chose not to include people like Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark on the Olympic
I hope there was
team.
like a you fucked up champ. You fucked up.
You fucked up. Me and you were there.
We would have started a you fucked up champ.
Like everybody come around. Like
you fucked up.
But like it's just like one of those things where it's like, God damn, like come on, get your head out of your fucking ass.
We don't want the best in our fucking country. Isn't that like a thing? Like we want your best and your brightest.
WNBA teams were like rescinding back to like they were playing like freaking like college gymnasiums, okay, and college arenas and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark come on board, and they're selling out their arenas, the NBA arenas, okay. The Washington Wizards,
like big time shit.
Washington WNBA team, they played in like a college arena or something like that. They had to change their venue for both Chicago and Indiana to, I think it's called the Comcast Center or whatever it is, or Verizon Center, whatever Washington D.C.'s arena is, which is a great arena. It's a great little trip. We should do that sometime.
Okay.
They had to change that because they're selling out crowds because people want to see it. Okay, and like it's not just lesbians; it's a lot of other people like watching it. Like I love
like guys that like to watch lesbians.
I'm be honest with you, I'm in more boy girl type thing, but I'm all fine with girls having other girls. That's fine.
I think in like boy versus girl sports.
Yes.
Is there any sports where like guys play girls and that's just like normal?
No, but I'll be honest with you, and this is an unpopular opinion, but I think we're gonna get to that point.
Okay.
Because
like MMA
here, no, MMA's tough, bro. Because you're talking with, but I can
imagine
see
Brock Lesnar is coming against like fucking Caitlin Clark, and
I could see in the next 5-10 years, a female MLB player, a female NBA player. I could see a female.
There's
NFL player.
There's no reason prohibitively that I would have a problem with a female MLB star or a female hockey player.
As long as you're doing,
I don't think football. I don't think it's fair in football. I think there's just a muscular skeletal system difference where like the best female football player shouldn't be playing against a grown ass fuck.
So my alma mater, shout out to Newman University, has one of the finest female ice hockey programs in the country. Okay. And in fact, Newman University is, I believe it's in construction now. I don't think it's completed yet. And I actually donated to it because I'm a
soccer. Yeah. I mean, right. Whatever you said.
Alumni. And, but they,
you have a class ring in high school too, in college?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Sorry.
No.
Gave off that vibe for a second.
No.
Know how you paid money to go here? And know how you still don't go here?
Yeah, I never
you still give us money.
I never need to show it off.
Gotcha.
In fact, like when I was in high school, I remember like my mom was like, or my dad wanted me to get a high school class ring, and I was like, but Dad, I don't wear rings, and I don't wear rings. I mean, I never even wore my wedding ring.
Well, there's a reason.
But like, you know,
I
but
don't have one now.
but I'm not a ring guy. I mean, so it's
Always
not
wear my wedding ring.
I like watches more than rings. I like
You
stuff.
like watching? What'd you say?
Absolutely. But you know, so Newman University, they have a great women's ice hockey program, but I could see that happening in ice hockey. There's certain sports where I can see crossover, and I can see I have no problems with it. Listen, Starship Troopers. How about the movie Starship Troopers?
They all shower together. Denise Richards shows her tits.
They played on whatever that fake football thing that they did, where they were doing flips and shit like that.
And they all killed bugs.
Flip zip 30 or something like that. And
how do you feel about Starship Troopers, where it's like, you know, citizenship through service? Like, in order to be a citizen,
you know that movie was like literally like
it was satirical. But also
it was Paul Verhoeven's like his essay towards like Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like the current state of affairs too. Like also like Hulk Hogan coming out to like, I know we're not getting political, but Hulk Hogan coming out to the Donald Trump rally.
He didn't talk about that.
Talking about he said, this is to all you real Americans out there, and to me that was. Everyone glossed over that. No, hold on, wait. Everyone else was just kind of rolling their eyes like, oh, it's Hulk Hogan, right? I just look at the fact that considering where he was and the demo that he was talking to, him saying, all my real Americans, at some point it makes you wonder, like, so who's not a real American, and how do I differentiate between who a real American is versus who like not a real American is? And I feel like there's a lot of underlined subtext there.
So here's what I'll say, okay? And I didn't watch I would not give a single moment to watch neither the Republican or Democrat.
I watched all 3 days.
I saw highlights, okay?
It was amazing.
Okay. All I got to say
it was like watching NASCAR, though. You watched it not because, like, not for the substance of the sport, but like, I can't wait to see it crash.
From what I saw, the Republican National Convention.
There were so many crashes.
Was literally like the biggest hype fest ever. Like literally, like everybody who got on that stage might as well have just said, "Can I?"
Dude.
I mean, it was like literally, but like when I
it was
saw
a who's who. Kid Rock was there. He had like tens of people listening to him play. Like it was amazing.
Yeah, listen, Donald Trump's entrances at UFC fights is fucking phenomenal.
I didn't see that. What's he come out to?
American Badass. It's like, Don't I hope you can edit in a video of this. Like literally, he comes out with an entourage, right? Dana White on his left, Kid Rock on his right, and just like
who's who? The trailer park.
Everybody's like, American, like. The bang, the bang.
Oh my God.
Whatever Kid Rock song it is, it's fucking hype, bro. And the entire arena. And guess what?
They're all
18,000 people in those arenas.
They're all about it.
He never got shot. Just saying. Just saying. But like, it's CGI. Fucking hype, bro. Meanwhile, like, I do like the idea. I was physically at a rally for the other guy who just resigned, pulled out of the race, and
never pull out.
It was a quarter of a high school gymnasium, and there was no hype music, and it was almost like, oh, he's gonna fall. Whoa.
That's part of the reason where I kind of roll my eyes at the conspirators. And again, like, I don't give a fuck about either side right now.
Exactly.
None of them really fucking like. They don't give me the warm and fuzzy feelings on either side. But
none of the above.
Yeah, none of the above. But like the conspiracy on the right, where like Biden put that together trying to get him shot. I'm like, Biden can't put two words together. Let alone put together like a fucking conspiracy theory and like we're gonna have the shooter walk into a rally with a ladder and an AR-15, and then I'm gonna have the fucking director of the fucking Secret Service tell the one guy that's gonna see him not to fucking pull the trigger. Like, no, it was an abysmal fucking failure of our fucking government. But
anybody
it wasn't
know a fucking nerd out in Butler that we can hire for this shit.
Yeah,
and Thomas Crooks is like, I was in a BlackRock commercial.
It certainly wasn't fucking Biden and his fucking brain trust of fucking like people like I have a good idea. Like, you don't have an idea, sir.
If anything, there's a level of incompetence that's growing. But like, again, it's both sides of the spectrum.
The important thing though is that we did have DEI Secret Service people. That's what's important. So that's important. We almost got the next president fucking murdered, but we have DEI inclusion.
It was comical. The whole thing was comical. But all right, so listen, we've talked a lot about the sports. We talked a lot. I think we share same stances on the Olympics. I think we share same stances on what's going on. Let me ask you a question that it's been blowing my mind because you are a little bit of a tech reliant person. Okay. Probably a little bit more than me. We all are. What'd you think of that little tech breakdown that happened last week when all of a sudden, like all the computers in the world didn't stop working?
It didn't affect me fucking at all.
Exactly.
It didn't affect my life in any way.
Tell you that it was like the worst thing ever.
I don't fucking care. It was the Y2K of fucking computer issues.
You got stuck at the airport for 3 extra hours? Go fuck yourself. You were at the airport going somewhere fun. I wasn't.
So, there's that. Also, though, I adhere to my rule of if it's under 10 hours, I drive. So I would never fly, like, for instance, like here to Pittsburgh, right? I would never fly to fucking Pittsburgh.
So I'll come back in that because back in 2002, 2003, we were opening up a bar out in Pittsburgh. And at the time, Southwest had just entered the Philadelphia market and we were getting flights from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh for like $75.
A great deal, right? But 2 hours, you have to be at the gate 2 hours before your fucking flight starts. Was it more lax then?
No. It was after. That was
2003. No,
but it was still like the difference between like I never got to the airport 2 hours. Like even if I got there like an hour beforehand, I was lying through my teeth to get through every fucking like thing as fast as I could. But not the drive to Pittsburgh. And I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a great town. I love my people in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Sarah Marion, Paul Hogan, Harrison Spikes, Dan DiGirolamo.
One of those people who overserved us grotesquely and almost killed us.
Sorry, Marion. We just talked about that the other day. But I love it in Pittsburgh. What I hate is the 6-hour drive of monotonous grass side hills, grassy knolls on the way out to Pittsburgh.
Like a 5-hour drive.
5.5 if you're driving fast. I mean, but you know, anyway.
But again, if you, I get it. You lie to TSA and all that shit and you're on a no-fly list. But like if you actually get to the airport 2 hours prior to the flight time, that's like, recommended by like norms, I guess, right?
If I was a simp, yeah.
So you do that and then the flight's like what, like an hour and a half? So now you're
45 minutes.
Maybe Pittsburgh was a bad example, but a typical flight is an hour and a half. So now you're 3.5 hours in. Then you got a deplane. You have to wait for fucking families to clap when they fucking land the fucking plane, which is annoying. Then you have to deplane. Then you have to find your fucking bags. It's 5, 6, 7 hours by the time you're done anyway.
Hold on.
I might as well drive and have my own car.
Everybody stopped listening to you like a minute ago. So I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
In 2005, the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually it was 2006. The Pittsburgh Steelers were playing in the Super Bowl. Okay. That's the NFL championship game, if you're not aware of that.
Gotcha.
So at the time,
Roethlisberger was playing, right?
Roethlisberger was playing. We still had our fitting his wake out there, and I had to go out there to supervise everything that went on with the Super Bowl functions. Okay. It was a tough job.
I'm sure you were working really hard.
We did Friday happy hour. Shout out to Mike Driscoll, Thump and Thirsty happy hour, circa 2005, 2006. We did Friday happy hour, and I went right from happy hour to the airport, and then right on the airplane, and the entire airplane was everybody going out there from Philadelphia so it was a rip-roaring fun time. Sure. Okay. So when I passed out and woke up, and I was like getting off the plane 40 minutes after it landed because they had to wake me. It was literally one of the fastest rides I ever took because I was asleep the whole time.
I understand that.
And then I got to celebrate. It was the first time I ever got to celebrate a Super Bowl win in a town that was like the Super Bowl team until 2018.
Celebrate it for Pittsburgh just because you were fucking there?
We had a bar there. We had a bar in Pittsburgh.
You celebrated a non-Eagles team winning a Super Bowl.
We had a bar a quarter mile from Heinz Field.
You're a sellout. So a team that wasn't the Eagles win a Super Bowl, and you're gonna like, we did it, guys. You know what you are? You're the type of person in Philly that roots for fucking Penn State because, like, hey, they have a lot of rings and they're from the same state we're from, so I want to attach my fucking horse to that fucking wagon.
From Philly. What part of Philly from? Westchester.
Yeah, no, you are a fucking fraud.
So I'm gonna
fraud.
We're gonna jump to the 86 list. 86 fucking Lou.
86, you're fucking fandom. I'm pulling your Eagles card. You're a Steagles fan, right? Yeah, go black and gold.
So anyway,
I can't believe this is happening. I thought I knew you.
You did. I mean, I have other shit I wanted to talk about today. I mean, YUNKJunk. We didn't even talk about YUNKJunk yet. we didn't even get on the topic of YUNKJunk.
We've thankfully gone 12 episodes without talking about YUNKJunk.
so we were informed today that apparently when the words, the automatic prompts of whatever subtitles for the episodes go out
for YUNKJunk,
which is
YUNKJunk YUNKJunk.com or the YUNKJunk YouTube channel is
Which,
where you can find us.
Big believers in that.
Not to be confused with YUNKJunk.com.
Do not go to YUNKJunk.
Do not.
Do not. Dylan,
Do not Google image search.
The number one producer in
Junk.
the country, Dylan, he informed us that there is an issue with some of the subtitles where it comes in at YUNKJunk. We are not on the YUNKJunk channel.
They do facial recognition, and when you talk, they're like, obviously he's talking about YUNKJunk.
Obviously. Makes complete sense.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
All right. So I think we've gone on a little bit long today, and listen, it's been fun because we've spent a couple episodes talking with everybody else. It's been nice actually breaking your balls, getting to know all about you,
Lou.
And so
you fed right into it. Rookie move.
On the next episode of YUNKJunk, Supper Club, we're going to talk about the time that I faked it.
And on the next episode, I will talk about my worst plane ride as well. So we'll have both those coming for you in the next episode. Until then, peace out, Philly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
YUNKJunk!